Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we've got the audio demo of the 2021 Lexus LX and its 19-speaker Mark Levinson Reference audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at the infotainment system, take a look at speaker locations, audio inputs, controls, adjustments, get out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling. I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a quick look at it. Ah yes, old, tried and true, the Lexus version of the Toyota Land Cruiser, the LX 570. Packing a 5.7-liter V8 and some of the best Lexus luxury features. This is kind of like the SUV version of the LS. So you've got, Lexus LS is the luxury car, and then LX is the luxury SUV, and you step down, they used to have the GS and the GX and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, the important thing for today is that we're dealing with the top of Lexus's audio system game. If you want to see more on the LX 570, check the links in the description for our abbreviated highway fuel economy test and our DM test drive. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV audio files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. That being said, these older Lexus systems have a lot of trouble playing my USB drive. So even after plugging it into the computer and reformatting it and trying to get the songs to work, they won't play WAV audio files, WAV files, which seems to be the main issue. I think it'll only play WMAs and MP3s. So in order to play our WAV files, I've got my phone plugged in right in the cable here, 3.5mm auxiliary input jack. So we still should be dealing with lossless files, just a little different than we typically do. We also do the test with sound settings set to their factory defaults. So let's take a look at those now. Still running an ancient no touchscreen system. You have to use this, not even trackpad, it's a knob, it's a little thing that you move around, a joystick if you will. You move around with your hand, and that corresponds with your movements on the screen. It's not very intuitive. Lexus has been moving away from it in, I think, every car at this point except for the LX. But let's go to sound. You've got treble, mid-range, and bass. You can do front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance here. And then an automatic sound levelizer, so as you get louder, start going faster on the road, the audio levels will adjust. And then a surround mode. Let's turn that on and off now. Not 100% sure what the audio engineers would consider to be the default setting, surround on or off, but we're going to stick with off for most of this test. Let's go through treble, mid-range, and bass. Oh, our song is already over, so we'll skip to the next one and then get on to that. Skip forward in the song a little bit. Okay. Amount of adjustment, but boy, what a horrendous way to do it through this track knob here. It's really quite bad. Audio inputs here for the LX 570. You have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, Bluetooth, 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, a USB-A port, and a disc player. So what does that mean you're missing? Well, no Android Auto of any sort, no CarPlay of any sort, wired or wireless, no USB Type-C. But that is about it. So other than those limitations I mentioned earlier on the USB stick and those others, that's kind of what you're working with here in the LX. Definitely old inputs. Audio controls, you have a volume knob right here, no detents, but it's easy to grab to in a good position. And then the left side of the steering wheel, you have some clickers. For track selection, you've got a tuner scroller knob. You have some track selection buttons right here. You can go back and forth. You could use the screen if you dare. And then back and forth right by the volume knobs and the steering wheel. Speaker locations. As I said, this is the 19 speaker system. So starting in the bottom left, we've got woofer down here, 1, tweeter and mid-range, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Getting out into the back. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Open up the trunk. Oh, there we go. Up here, 15, 16, 17, 18, and a big old subwoofer on the side makes 19. So, as I said earlier, no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, so we are ready to get this thing out of the garage and out on the road. For all of you who watch these tests regularly, have you ever heard so much satisfying bass come in on ChillShop before? And typically this song is like, yeah, it's got a little bit of a bass punch, but it's fairly average, it's mundane. Oh, in this car, the whole thing rumbles, but it's not like a Dodge Durango where the bass just seems obscene. This is a very natural sounding bass. It's just heavy and strong in this song. It's remarkable. I haven't heard something like this with just flat EQ. testing a sound system and I refer to the tightness. This is a great example of a very tight system. Every note you hear, every snare drum hit, every sound comes in, it sounds good and crisp, and then it gets out of the way. It's very precise. There's a precision to every sound, and The sounds that a speaker and a sound system make are just as important as the silences. There should be, actually I'm going to let this truck go by first. There should be a good balance between them, and that's what makes for satisfying music. Not solely just how much noise can it make, but also how nice does the silence sound. This next song, we'll turn the bass up about halfway through the song. Already pretty strong. I got mirror shakage, feeling it. Oh my goodness. The whole mirror is shaking. I can feel it with my finger. My leg hair is shaking. Like I can feel the bass and the doors through my leg hair. That is incredible. Oh my goodness. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. My thoughts here on the Mark Levinson Reference Surround System in the LX 570. It really doesn't get much better than this, ladies and gentlemen. This system has so much power, so much bass, such a tight mid-range, and such great high-end crisp sounds. It's a go-to. I mean, that's why they call it a reference sound system. It's what you should be referring to. And this is with auxiliary settings set completely neutral. Even when I was listening to my music, just driving in the car, cranking it, goosebumps flaring, all the EQ settings were set to default, and that is because this system is that good and the sound engineers engineered it properly to be totally zeroed out. So for sound quality, we're talking S tier. It doesn't really get any better than this. That being said, I cannot recommend this sound system in this car to audiophiles. Why? Because the technology is absolutely ancient and it's borderline frustrating and dangerous. This computer knob thing, that needs to go. Lexus knows it needs to go. They've been moving away from that in their more flagship models, but this is their flagship SUV, and yet no Apple CarPlay, no Android Auto. The Bluetooth codec is really bad. You have to plug in with auxiliary to get hi-fi music, or use a disc, I suppose, and then you've got to deal with your phone being out and being distracting. So overall, all things considered, the price and the technology, it's only getting an A. If you only care about sound quality, this is right up at the top, but the Volvo, Bowers, and Vulcan systems are going to sound just as good and have much better tech. So thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see more, we're we're going to beat the song. There's too much to say about this. But if you want to see more on the LX570, you can check our highway fuel economy test, our DM test drive, and if you want to hear more on this Mark Levinson audio system, sign up to become a Daily Motor member and you can hear copyrighted tracks of your own request on these sound systems. And overall, thank you all so much for watching. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always,